Hello class. Today we're going to take equations to the next level. We're going to have variables on both sides. So there are three steps that we follow whenever we solve equations with variables on both sides. And the first step is to get the letters on one side of the equal sign. And how do I do that? Well, I add the opposite. Just like we've been doing with two-step equations, moving the number, the constant, from one side to the other, we add its opposite. Well, now we're just going to do it with the letters as well, with the variables. So get your letters or your variables on one side of the equal sign. How? Add the opposite. Step number two, get the numbers on the other side of the equal sign. And we do that the same exact way. We add the opposite. Now, once you've got the letters on one side and you've got the numbers on the other side, you have a simple one-step equation. And all we have to do is solve. And how do we do that? We do the opposite, or we do the inverse of that operation. So if we have a multiply, we do a divide. And if we have a divide, we do a multiply. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to work a few problems, okay, that model what it is I want us to do. So here are two questions that I want us to look at. You'll notice that in both of them, they have variables on both sides of the equal sign. So in our job is still find out what the value of that letter happens to be. So let's take a look at this first one. So we've got 4x plus 4 is equal to 2x plus 36. So most of the time we like our letters to be on the left-hand side. So what I want to do is I want to move this 2x over to be with the 4x. And if you remember from step number one, we add the opposite. So what I like to do is I like to start at the equal sign. So I just put the equal sign down. So I want to move this 2x. And the way we do that is you write 2x, and then you add the opposite of 2x, which is negative 2x. And then we just write down the 36 because it's just coming along for the ride. So if I add this negative 2x on one side, I have to add that same thing on the other side. So what I like to do is just write the 4x plus 4 and then add my negative 2x to it. Okay, so now I put like things together. So here on the left-hand side, I have a 4x and a negative 2x that I can put together. So 4x and negative 2x make 2x plus 4 equals, and now if I did my job right, my 2x and my negative 2x, they will go away, and I'm left with just plus 36. Now if you look at this particular problem, it looks just like a regular two-step problem. Okay, same kind of problems that we've been working on. So now I'm going to move this 4 over to be with the 36. And again, the way we do that is we add the opposite. So 2x plus 4 plus the opposite of 4 is negative 4 equals 36 plus the negative 4. So I have to add that same number to both sides. And then we simplify that line. So these 4's go away, and we're left with 2x is equal to, and then 36 plus negative 4 gives us 32. Now the next thing that we do is we do the opposite, because we've got all of our letters on the left, we have all of our numbers on the right. Now we're ready to figure out, I don't want to know about 2x's, I only want to know about 1x. So I divide by 2, and x is equal to 16. Right? And that's how you solve an equation with variables on both sides. So let's try one more real fast, and then I'll have you do one. Right? So here is our next one. Okay, so this one says negative 15 plus 6b is equal to negative 8b plus 13. So now you'll notice that they rearrange some numbers. It doesn't matter, it's still the same exact process. So step number one, get the letters on one side. So I'm going to move this negative 8b over to be with the 6b. So I start writing at the equal sign. Negative 8b plus positive 8b, because that's its opposite, plus 13. Okay, so this 8b here is what I got to add to the other side. So I just take this line, I copy it down, negative 15 plus 6b plus the thing that I added on the other side, which was our 8b. Now we put like things together. So we have a 6b and an 8b that could go together to make 14b plus the negative 15. So the negative 15 comes along for the ride. And then my negative 8b and my positive 8b, they go away, and we're just left with regular 13. So now I need to move the negative 15 over on the other side. Okay, so I need to move it to be with the 13. So how do I do that? We add its opposite. So 14b plus negative 15 plus 15, which is the opposite, equals 13 plus 15. Now we simplify that line. My 15s go away. I'm left with 14b equals, and then 13 plus 15 gives me 28. Okay, now I don't want to know about 14 b's. I only want to know about 1b. So I divide by 14 on both sides. Okay, these 14s cancel out or divide out and turn into 1, which is what I want. 1b equals, and then 28 divided by 14 gives you 2. And that's how you solve equations with variables on both sides. So, pause the video just for a moment, and let's see if you can do one on your own. Okay, let's see how you did. Now in this particular problem, it's a minus. So there's something I like to do in order to help prevent careless mistakes. And that is change my subtraction sign to an addition sign and change my next number to its opposite. And like I said, the reason why I do that is to prevent careless mistakes. If I flip-flop numbers with addition problems in the middle or addition signs in the middle, I'll still get the same answer. For example, 5 plus 2 and 2 plus 5. They both give me 7. But in subtraction, I don't. I don't get the same answer. So whenever I change subtraction to addition next to its opposite, it allows me, if by accident I flip my numbers around, I'll still get the same answer. So here we go. Let's see if you did this one correctly. So we'll take this 5b and move it over to be with a 9b. So I start at the equal sign. 5b plus negative 5b plus the 18. So this is the new thing. So that's what I have to add on the other side as well to maintain balance. So 9b plus negative 6 plus negative 5b. Okay, so now I combine like terms. The 9b and the negative 5b make a 4b plus negative 6 equals, and then over here my 5b's go away and I'm left with 18. Now I need to move the negative 6 to be with the 18. So 4b plus negative 6 plus positive 6 equals 18 plus positive 6. Now I simplify the lines, so my 6's go away. I'm left with 4b equals, and then 18 plus 6 gives me 24. Right? Now to get rid of the multiply by 4, I do a divide by 4, and I end up with b equaling 6. And that's all there is to the first part of solving equations with variables on both sides.